Clay Moorhead here. I want to show you how to use Retouch on mobile to clone yourself out of a 360 panorama. So I'm going to choose this image here, and it's going to ask if you want to go to 360 view, and I'm going to try to clone myself out here. I don't think it's going to work. I'm too tangled up in the background. And as I predicted, it didn't do a very good job. So I'm just going to deal with a shadow across my face. I'm going to use the lines tool, the segment option. And I'm going to sketch across that with my shaky hand. And it's done a pretty good job. And next I'm going to deal with a shadow on my shirt. And I'm going to use the objects tool to paint over the shadow and see what it does. Not too bad. If I had enough time, I could be a little more careful, reclone again, do a little painting in another program to clean this up. The clone tool is interesting. The target that you see is really the source, not what's being painted. And cloning responds to Apple Pen pressure. The harder you press, the larger it is and the more opaque. Anyway, with a little more time, that could be perfect. I like to save a copy, keep my original, and let's take a look at another example. This one's going to be a little bit easier. So I'm going to try to clone myself out using the objects tool. My finger's actually a better tool than the Apple Pen right now. It gives me a wider brush. So I tend to work with two hands actually. Let's see how it deals with that line painted on the street. It's not perfect. I'm going to have to paint that back in, but that's no big deal. I like to align my screen so it's either vertical or horizontal. It makes cloning a little easier. And once again, I'm going to choose the clone tool. In this case, make the brush a little bit bigger. And set my source on the line down here. And then just paint. You can see the preview window on the upper left. That's pretty good. I think that's not going to be noticeable in the finished panel. Okay, that's it. Cloning yourself out of a 360 shot with Retouch. It was formerly known as Touch Retouch. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's my choice at this point to leave the images fairly dark. I may go in and open up the shadows a little bit later in another program. So I'm going to save a copy. And let's go on to a very interesting example. Retouch has the option to find and repair meshes, things like chain link fences. That's pretty amazing. This is an image I just grabbed off the internet. It's going to be interesting to see how this works in a real world situation.